Imagine shooting straight up into the sky and then flipping around and just plummeting towards the earth. They don't call these daring stunts death-defying for nothing. But this is no big deal for Minnesota's favorite daredevil, John Mohr.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with Travel with Danny Deb, and today we find ourselves in New Richmond, Wisconsin with our wonderful friend, John Mohr. How you doing, John?
Doing great, Dan. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us out, and we have a huge treat for us today, and he is going to bring us up in a Stearman biplane, and I can't wait.
So I started flying at a very young age. In fact, I grew up in an aviation family. My dad and grandfather both were pilots, and they had a seaplane flying service in northern Minnesota. In fact, right after I was born, my dad flew my mom and myself in the J3 Cub on floats back from the hospital to home.
Wow.
At about age 5, or maybe even earlier, I started flying that airplane, sitting on my dad's lap before he could even reach the rudder pedals, and I'd move the stick around, and my dad would move the pedals in relation to what I needed for the stick control. And then at age 14, my dad soloed me in that very airplane. I flew long before I ever drove a car even. In fact, my grandfather, he was a barnstormer early on back in the 20s and 30s down in northern Iowa before they moved up to northern Minnesota. He had biplanes just similar to the Stearman, and he used to go out to farm fields, county fairs and whatnot, and hop rides, just like that movie, The Great Waldo Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
So I listened to my grandfather's stories about flying in biplanes and cap and goggles and scarf and the whole business, and I was just enamored with it at a young age, so I knew I had to do it as I grew up. Well, the Stearman's 1943 vintage. It was an early World War II training airplane, and there was many of them around the country, which is the airplane that trained most of the pilots that flew in World War II that went on to fly fighters and bombers. And after the war, they also became crop sprayers because of their load carrying capability and because they were plentiful and cheap to buy. So a lot of the spraying outfits bought them, and that's where this one came from. It was actually used for spraying and dusting crops down in Mississippi.
Well, listen, I'm excited to get up in the air. What do you say we hit the skies?
Certainly,
All right.
absolutely.
All right, let's do it. I can't wait.
How was it, Deb?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw you did some low pass on the south end of the runway and then came up.
Yeah, did some loop-the-loops. And,
Oh, you did loop the loops?
oh, yeah,
Oh, nice. How'd it feel?
great.
Oh my goodness, John, you didn't tell us you were going to take us barnstorming. What do you think? Yep. Loop-de-loops. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you
wanted
do
you to experience some of what you saw on the Smithsonian Channel.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
know.
well, we did. I have to go empty my shoe in a few minutes. Well, listen, everybody, we thank you so much for coming out to New Richmond, Wisconsin with John Mohr and the Stearman. We'll catch you next time on Travel with Danny Depp. Bye.